Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the program. It's Friday, January 8th, coming to you live from our studio in Seoul. I'm Kim Mo-kyun. Before we get started, these are the stories we're following at the top of the hour. The cold wave from the Arctic has hit South Korea hard as the country is under the grip of the season's coldest weather. The nation's weather agency has issued cold wave warnings for most parts of the nation. On the third day of the Workers' Party Congress, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un reviewed inter-Korean relations and declared a policy stance to comprehensively expand and develop external relations. And U.S. stocks hit an all-time high on Thursday after Congress certified Joe Biden as the incoming president of the United States. Our top story this morning, South Korea is experiencing some record-breaking temperatures, with people enduring a bone-chilling day accompanied by heavy snow in some regions. Cold wave warnings have been issued for most parts of the nation. Seoul is expected to see mercury plunge to around minus 20 degrees Celsius, the lowest the capital has seen in 5 years. Our Ji-young starts us off.
A frigid blast of cold air straight from the Arctic has slammed into South Korea, bringing with it the coldest weather of the winter season so far. As of 7 a.m. Friday, the Korean Meteorological Administration had issued cold wave warnings for most of the nation. The temperature in Seoul is expected to be around negative 18 degrees Celsius on Friday, a low not seen in 5 years. Accounting for the wind chill, it'll feel more like minus 25. Southern parts of the nation, including the west coast of Jeollanam-do province and the southern island of Jeju, have also seen heavy snow as well as sub-freezing temperatures. Mountainous areas of Gangwon-do province are forecast to see the mercury dip to negative 30 degrees Celsius on Friday.
The cold wave will peak from Friday to Saturday, combined with strong winds. Some parts of the country will see temperatures drop to minus 20 degrees Celsius.
With the unprecedented cold wave, nationwide electric power demand has reached an all-time high. The Ministry of Trade, Industry and Energy said the highest electric power demand was reached on Thursday afternoon, topping 90 million kilowatts, and the record is forecast to be broken again on Friday. The ministry said it'll relax the upper bound constraint of coal power plants so it can cope with the uptick in demand. Ji-young, Arirang News.
South Korea reported 674 new COVID-19 cases on Friday, staying below the 1,000 mark for the fourth consecutive day. There have been 35 more deaths, bringing the total deaths to 1,081. Starting Friday, all foreigners flying to South Korea must submit negative COVID-19 test results from tests taken at most 3 days prior to departure. The measure will apply to people entering the country through local ports starting January 15th. Meanwhile, indoor sports facilities will be able to operate starting Friday with a cap on the number of visitors placed at 9 people. The eased restrictions will solely apply to facilities with training purposes for children and students only. With the UK looking to vaccinate more of its citizens, mass COVID-19 vaccine hubs are set to open across the UK next week. Meanwhile, Morocco has approved emergency use of the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine. Lee Seung-jae with more.
7 out of 50 new locations that will host vaccination centers in the UK have been revealed, including football fields and conference centers. Some of the venues include Robertson House in Stevenage, the Excel Centre in London, and the Etihad Tennis Centre in Manchester. The latest announcement comes as the UK is rapidly scaling up its vaccination program, with Prime Minister Boris Johnson pledging to inoculate 13 million people by mid-February. The new additions join 775 general practice-led centers and 207 hospital sites that are also set to open by the end of the week. In Morocco, the country has approved the emergency use of AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine. The announcement comes as the Moroccan government announced it had ordered 65 million doses of AstraZeneca and China's Sinopharm vaccines. Approval of Sinopharm's vaccine is under review by the country's drug regulators and is expected to be approved soon. According to the WHO, COVID-19 vaccine deliveries under the COVAX facilities to support lower-income countries could start this month. According to the UN agency's immunization director, $7 billion is needed in order to deliver enough vaccines through the end of 2021. The facility has already raised about $6 billion. The facility currently has access to over 2 billion doses and will begin delivery by the end of January, or at the latest, early to mid-February. The WHO has also called on European countries to intensify COVID-19 measures, as the region is currently dealing with a new variant first detected in the UK. WHO Europe Director Hans Kluge says extended measures were needed in order to flatten the steep vertical line of rising cases in some countries. Lee Seung-jae, Arirang News.
On the third day of North Korea's 8th Workers' Party Congress on Thursday, the regime's leader Kim Jong-un discussed inter-Korean relations and vowed to expand external ties. But the North state media did not elaborate further, and there was no message for Seoul nor Washington. Our North Korean affairs correspondent Kim Dami reports.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un reviewed inter-Korean relations on the third day of the Workers' Party Congress on Thursday. The regime state media reported on Friday that Kim also declared a policy of comprehensively expanding and developing external relations. But no details were released. There were also no messages for Seoul or Washington. At the last Congress in 2016, the regime unveiled specific diplomatic directions on South Korea and the U.S., but this time around, the North is even yet to release a full text on the issue. The last time Kim sent Seoul a message was during the 75th anniversary of the founding of the North Workers' Party last October, when he voiced hope that the two Koreas hold hands after the pandemic is over. Thursday's session also covered ways of overcoming non-socialist elements in all social fields, including education and health. During the previous session since Tuesday, Kim Jong-un frankly admitted the failure of the North's economic development strategy and pledged to raise defense capabilities to a much higher level. Experts comment that the Congress could last throughout the weekend, highlighting the significance of the event. The previous Congress back in 2016 took place for 4 days. Kim Dami, Arirang News.
A delegation from South Korea is in Tehran to try and secure the swift release of the country's chemical tanker that was captured this week by Iranian authorities near the Strait of Hormuz. But so far, no luck. Authorities, according to Iran state news agency, Iran's foreign ministry said the delegation's visit is unrelated and should have been arranged before the seizure. It stressed it's part of South Korea's first vice foreign minister's scheduled visit. That visit is a 3-day trip from Sunday to discuss Iranian assets in a South Korean bank that were frozen due to U.S. sanctions. The South Korean embassy in Iran says the tanker's 20 crew members are safe. Now, in the closest he has come to a concession speech, U.S. President Donald Trump acknowledged President-elect Joe Biden's election victory and called for a smooth transition of power in the aftermath of the violence at the U.S. Capitol. In the latest video released Thursday local time, Trump said that a new administration will be inaugurated on January 20th, claiming that his focus now turns to ensuring a smooth, orderly, and seamless transition of power. Though he didn't mention President-elect Biden's name, he stressed America must move on, adding that the country needs a moment of healing and reconciliation. Trump also denounced protesters who turned violent and stormed Capitol Hill on Wednesday, claiming that those who engaged in such acts had broken the law and will have to pay. U.S. stocks hit record highs Thursday as traders shook off Wednesday's unrest in Washington. Watchers say market optimism is mainly being fueled by the incoming Biden administration and the unexpected drop in unemployment claims. Choi Min-jung has the details.
U.S. stocks hit an all-time high on Thursday as Congress certified Joe Biden as the incoming president of the United States. The three major averages reached new milestones, all closing above previous highs, following an easing of unrest in Washington that had been caused by pro-Trump riots in the Capitol building. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 0.7% to 31,041.1, closing above the 31,000 mark for the very first time. The S&P 500 climbed to 3,803.8, up 1.5%. The tech-heavy Nasdaq surged 2.6% to finish at 13,067.5. S&P and Nasdaq also finished the session at record-breaking figures above 3,800 and 13,000 respectively. Watchers say the shift to a Democrat-controlled government is playing a key role in triggering market optimism. This comes as expectation over additional stimulus grows among traders, inspired by the incoming Biden administration and Democrats set to take control of Congress. Market gains could also have been fueled by an unexpected decrease in unemployment claims. According to the Labor Department, the number of Americans claiming first-time unemployment benefits last week edged down by 3,000 to 787,000. The result is lower than expected figures, as economists had forecasted over 800,000 applications for the latest week. Meanwhile, European stocks edged up on Thursday, with markets also eyeing further announcements regarding benefit payments in the U.S. Choi Min-jung, Arirang News.
South Korean tech giant Samsung Electronics has estimated its operating profit in 2020 to be around $33 billion, up 29.5% compared to the previous year. The company also announced Friday that last year's fourth quarter profit rose by 25.7% on year, standing at around $8.2 billion. The fourth quarter profit showed a decrease from the third quarter as the price of semiconductors fell, but was still higher than of the same period the previous year as more people stayed home due to the COVID-19 outbreak. More big news for Elon Musk, the founder of SpaceX and electronic auto giant Tesla. He has yet another feature to add to his cap. He's now the richest person on the planet. Our Jong-un has this report.
Elon Musk has become the world's wealthiest person, overtaking Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos. Bloomberg confirmed his top spot on his billionaire index Thursday after Tesla's stock prices rose nearly 5%, bringing his net worth to some $188 billion. That puts him ahead of Bezos by $1.5 billion, who had been the world's richest person since 2017. Over the past year alone, Musk's shares in Tesla rose by more than $106 billion as the price skyrocketed around 750%. Microsoft founder Bill Gates is now a distant third at $132 billion. Responding to the news, Musk tweeted, "How strange, and will now back to work." What's extraordinary is how fast he rose to the top spot. In late November, Musk overtook Bill Gates as the world's second richest person. But as Tesla's stock prices have increased 45% since then, his net worth has risen $53 billion over the past couple of months alone. And Musk may be on course to set another record as Tesla shares are off to a solid start in 2021, up more than 13% since the turn of the year. Jong-un, Arirang News.
Good morning. Hope you're well bundled up today. It's the coldest morning in 5 years with cold wave alerts in place everywhere except on Jeju, Ulleungdo, and Dokdo, where it's still snowing. Mountainous regions on Jeju saw over 60 centimeters, more than 40 centimeters on Ulleungdo, and 20 centimeters on Jeollabuk-do province since Wednesday, and snow will continue to fall on and off through early next week. And those regions will see more than 30 centimeters into Sunday, so heavy snow warnings remain in place for now, while the west of Jeollado province will see 5 to 15 centimeters. The rest of us will be under sunny skies, but slick roads and black ice will still be a threat, as it's going to be bitterly cold through the afternoon. Even Jeju will only get up to -1 degree. A wintry mix continues through early next week for heavy snow-affected regions, while temperatures will finally ease by mid-next week. So until then, take well care. That's Korea for you, and here's the international weather for viewers around the world.
That's a wrap for us at the hour on Arirang News. We'll be back with more of the day's headlines at noon Korea time, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
COVID-19 has permeated our daily environment. In some cases, the